Lots going on, as I mentioned. And one of the interesting things I wanted to mention is that there's more suggestion from analysis coming up that an important part of what drives cognitive decline in Alzheimer's disease is related to the innate immune system's memory. So you have a well-known, everybody knows you have a memory once you have, for example, a vaccine, which is related to your adaptive system, your T cells and B cells that actually have memory cells that recognize very specific antigens. But what's come up and just really discovered over the last 15 or so years has been that the innate system, the thing that gives you the non-specific, the inflammatory response, also has a memory component. Now, the memory is not as specific as you can imagine. So it's specific for which receptors, so-called toll-like receptors or other related receptors that are part of that response. And this memory is stored in three locations. It's stored in your bone marrow. It's stored in your microglia in your brain and other tissue macrophages, tissue type cells that can respond with an inflammation. And then it's also stored in your endothelial cells that line your blood vessels. So that changes a little bit the way we think about this and really pushes us to damp that down and to deal with the fact that you've got this memory. It's one of the reasons that eating saturated fat and things that are very inflammatory really can actually have a long-term effect. And by the way, the other thing about this memory is it typically doesn't last years the way the adaptive system does. It lasts months. So that's why at the beginning, it's so critical for us to get you onto these non-inflammatory fats and non-inflammatory diets and get that inflammation down.